Hi everyone, today I wanted to share with you guys a really cool idea for a Mother's Day gift. For this gift, I made homemade vegan banana fudge brownies. I wrapped them up and then I placed them in a mug that I decorated myself. So let's get started. For the recipe, you'll need baking soda, arrowroot, coconut oil, and water. You'll also need cocoa powder, almond butter, salt, dark chocolate, I'm using 85%, bananas, and any sweetener of your choice. I'm using stevia. We're going to first start by melting our coconut oil in a pot. Then you're going to add the dark chocolate. I like to use 85% dark chocolate because not only it has less sugar, but it also gives the brownies a very intense dark chocolate flavor. Next, I'm going to add my almond butter. You could use pretty much any nut butter, but this helps gives the brownies a really nice fudgy texture. Make sure your heat is at a low temperature because chocolate can burn easily. After the chocolate is completely melted, you're going to leave the pot aside and then you're going to take your bananas and start peeling them. I'm using really ripe bananas because they're sweeter, so they help sweeten the recipe. Bananas will also help create a moist brownie. Make sure to mash the bananas well to get rid of any big clumps. I'm using a fork to do this. You should mash the bananas up until you have like a puree consistency. So once it looks like this, you can call it good and then put it aside in a bowl. To this bowl, you're going to mix all the ingredients together. This includes the baking soda, the salt, the melted chocolate mixture. After adding the melted chocolate, I made sure to mix the ingredients well together before adding any other ingredients. I'm using an electrical mixture, but you don't need to have a machine to do this. You just want to make sure you mix all the ingredients well together. Now you want to add the cocoa powder and the arrowroot powder. Make sure to mix the ingredients well together. If you're using an electrical mixture, you want to start at low speed first to avoid making a mess. The last things I add are water and the sweetener. I'm using stevia, but you could use any sweetener like honey or maple syrup or brown sugar or coconut sugar. There are so many options, so whatever sweetener you have in hand would work. One thing to note is that the batter is already pretty sweet because we used ripe bananas, so you won't need to add too much of a sweetener. You want to then transfer your batter into a baking dish. I lined my baking dish with parchment paper to prevent the batter from sticking to the bottom of the dish. You want to take your spoon or spatula and spread out the batter around the corners of your baking dish. Now all you need to do is just bake the brownies at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. Once the brownies come out of the oven, you want to let them cool completely. Then you want to cut them into squares and leave them aside. The brownies alone can be a perfect mother's gift, but if you have an available cup like this one, you could also decorate it to give your mother a really cute present like this one. To make this gift, you want to start by first cutting a large piece of parchment paper. The shape doesn't have to be perfect. I'm cutting the parchment paper into a rectangle. This is where you're going to wrap the brownies into. Then you want to cut small square-shaped pieces of parchment paper. Once that's done, you want to place a brownie in the middle of the parchment paper and then put a small square piece of parchment paper on top. Then stack up another brownie and then another parchment paper on top. The parchment paper is used to prevent the brownies from sticking together. Once you're done stacking up the brownies, you want to wrap them up together. Then you want to tie an elastic band at the top to hold everything into place. I have this plain gift tag, and I'm going to decorate it with these alphabetical stickers to spell the word Mom. And I'm going to draw a little heart at the very bottom, but you can decorate your tag however you want it. Now I'm going to take a red ribbon and tie it once around the parchment paper. To one of the ends of the ribbon, I'm going to slide in the gift tag. And then I'm going to tie the ribbon to form a nice bow. Make sure the bow is tightened nice and secure. Now I'm going to place it in the cup, and if the cup is too deep, that's okay. You could always use a bit of paper towel and fold it up and then place it at the bottom of the cup. So now the gift doesn't sink all the way to the bottom of the cup, and you can visibly see it. This already is a really cute gift, but if you want to get more creative, you can always decorate the cup. Before drawing on the cup, I'm going to cut out some template shapes. First, I'm going to start by cutting out a heart. I pretty much fold the paper in half and then draw half a heart and then cut it out into its shape. You can cut out different shapes and use them as templates. Here I have two different types of flowers, and you can also find some shapes on the internet, print them out, and then cut them out. You want to tape your template onto the cup. You want to make sure you washed your cup well with soap and water and dried it before you start drawing on it. Then you want to trace out the shapes with a marker. I recommend using a special glass marker or an oil-based Sharpie. If you choose to use a regular Sharpie marker, the problem is that the designs will only last temporarily, because after a few washes, the color starts to fall off. Designing the cup is the funnest part. You can get creative and do whatever you want. If you did a mistake or you finished drawing your design and you didn't like it, it's okay, you can just remove it with alcohol. I simply used 50% alcohol and paper towel. If you make a mistake, the best thing to do is to remove it immediately, otherwise if you let it dry, it will be harder to remove. I also cutted another shaped heart. This will be my design for the opposite side of the cup. You actually don't have to trace out your design using a template. If you're confident with your freehand drawing skills, you can just wing it and draw directly on the cup without using a template. But for me, I'm not really confident with my freehand drawing skills, so I like to use templates. After you have finished drawing your design, you want to let the mug sit for about 24 hours. After you have let the Sharpie paint dry, you want to bake the mug in the oven. This is really important. You want to put your mug in the oven first before turning the oven on. This will prevent the mug from cracking due to sudden temperature changes. And just remember to start your timer for 30 minutes after your oven has reached 425 degrees Fahrenheit. After the 30 minutes, you want to turn the oven off, but still leave the mug inside the oven to allow it to fully cool down with the oven until it reaches room temperature. And yeah, so this is how my mug looks like when I'm done. I hope you guys really like this idea for a Mother's Day gift. It could also be an idea for a Valentine's gift or a birthday gift or any gift in general. Not only it's really cute, but I think it's really fun to make. I hope you guys liked this video and thank you so much for watching.